Hello everyone, welcome to Vinyasa. There is one prop that I would like you to have today. If you do have a yoga block at home, great. If you don't have a yoga block at home, no problem, we will get creative with a book perhaps. So any book will do. Go ahead and grab one of those two props. You could always have both and experiment. And we'll take a seat. So any seat that is comfortable for you. You could sit, how I am in Kira's pose Virasana, or a cross-legged seat, or grab a chair. I am just realizing that I don't have my headphones in. So I'm just going to project my voice to you today. My apologies. Turn up your volume a little bit if you're having a hard time hearing me. So find that comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Let your seat be supported. Feel your shoulders shrug back over your hips. And just take a moment here to settle in, arrive. Maybe you close your eyes. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So I'd like to introduce you to a pranayama practice. Pranayama is a style of breathing, different breathing techniques. And this particular pranayama practice is something that I generally do in the morning for myself, for my own practice, or in the afternoon if I'm feeling like I need a little boost of energy. So it's meant to energize and help the body and mind focus and prepare for the day. So there's two parts of breathing to this. The first part is what we call breath of fire. So there's this action of snapping the navel into the spine forcefully. So I even like to have my hands at the belly and just kind of feel that force, almost like a very gentle Heimlich maneuver, right? So the navel snaps into the spine. This triggers the exhalation through nose or through mouth. You can try both and see which one is easiest for you. The inhale happens automatically. So it looks and sounds like this. Okay, so it's a forceful exhale, and the inhale again, it just kind of happens automatically. I'm already getting warm just from that little short demo. So breath of fire for a reason, it warms the body up real quick. We'll do 30 seconds of that. I'll time us. And then we're going to switch to something called Surya Vedana. Surya means sun. So the idea of invoking that sun energy, that light, that daytime awakeness. And this is, if you've ever tried Nadi Shodhana with me, it's similar to that, but it's only one inhale on the right and one exhale on the left. And that is your full round of Surya Vedana. So it'll be 30 seconds of breath of fire. And then we'll switch right into Surya Vedana. So hand will come up to the crescents of the nose. You'll close your left. Inhale through the right. Close right, exhale left. And then you'll come right back to breath of fire. All right, so we'll do that 3 times through. If you need to make any adjustments in your seat, go ahead, but allow the spine to be tall, allow the knees to be below the hips, or just at least in line with the hips. A few neutral breaths here, in and out through the nose. You might take your hand to the low belly to just get that visceral feedback. For your breath of fire, we'll inhale to begin. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand up to the crescents of the nose. Close your left nostril. Inhale through your right. Close right, exhale left. Right back to breath of fire. Inhale to begin. 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second round of Surya Vedana. Right hand up to the crescents of the nose. Closing left, inhaling right. Close right, exhale left. One more round all the way through. Breath in through both nostrils to begin. Breath of fire. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand up. Last round of Surya Vedana. Inhale, closing left. Inhale through the right. Close right. Exhale left. Release your right hand back to your lap. Pause. Breathe in and out through both nostrils. Just neutral breath. Just take a few moments to acknowledge the sensation now as it washes over the body. How do you feel? Good. Blinking the eyes open, just taking in the space around you, arriving on purpose into your practice. If you were seated on blocks or your books or whatever, we're going to use one now. So taking your block or your book, take a seat onto the heels, place that block or book on top of your head. And then see if you can find a place to balance it. Kind of feel like I'm in one of those really old, archaic finishing schools, right? Where girls used to learn proper posture by placing a book on their heads and balancing it. We're kind of going to do that today. So once you find that balance seated, see if you can keep that prop there and stand up just onto your knees. I find it helps a little bit with balance to take my hands to my hips. And the block or book's going to feel just a little bit wobbly. That's okay. And spoiler alert, it's most likely going to fall off once, twice, 3 times, 1,000,000 times. So just get over it for now and allow yourself to let that thing slip off when it does. Okay, so our next attempt will be to step the right foot forward, making 2 90-degree angles with the legs. So right ankle underneath right knee, left knee underneath left hip. Okay, breath in here, still balancing your prop on your head. See if you can curl those left toes under. And we're going to attempt to step forward into Tadasana with this prop on the head. So if you can step forward, left foot meets the right foot, relax your arms, stand tall and proud. Breath in here. Breath out. All right, so we get to reverse that whole thing. Hands back to the waist. Right foot's going to step back this time. Right knee to the mat. 2 90-degree angles with the feet and legs. And then left foot steps back. Left knee underneath the left hip. Both hips down to the heels. Pause here. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, let's try that one more time with our prop on our head. Now you know where you're going. You have a sense of where you feel most wobbly and how it's going to shift and move around. That's okay. Let it fall if it falls and just put the prop back on your head and try again. Stand up onto the knees. Maybe the hands to the waist. This time we're going to lead with the left. So left foot's going to step forward first. Get your bearing there. Pause. Curl those right toes under. With a breath in, attempt to step that right foot forward to meet the left foot. Stand tall. Take a moment here to breathe into Tadasana. Palms facing forward, shoulders relax. Hands back to the waist. We'll reverse this with the left foot leading back first. Set that left knee down nice and slow. Pause. And then right foot moves back, right knee underneath the hip, hips back to the heels. Pause. Breath in. Breath out. All right, we're done with that. Set that prop off to the side. Come to your hands and your knees. A few rounds of cat and cow here. So let the head draw down, let it be heavy. Let that be your inhale. And let your exhale be your heart pulling forward, your belly drawing down. So we're reversing the breath here that we normally take. See if you can let the inhale be to arch the spine, curl the chin in, and the exhale for the belly to move down, the heart to move forward. Try that twice more. Good. Now come back to a neutral spine. So hug your navel up into your spine. Extend your right foot back. Keep the right foot in contact with your mat, so you're pressing down through the ball mound of the foot. Step your left hand print forward just a touch, and then come to the inner edge of the right foot. As you roll the right arm towards the ceiling, you're in a supported side plank. Your left knee is still on the mat. Stacking your shoulders and your hips as you reach your right arm high, press down through the left hand, lift up and out of the shoulder, breath in. And breath out, right hand down, left knee in its place. One round of cat and cow here. And then inhale your way back into a neutral spine. Okay, so feel that navel hug up and in. Extend your left foot back, curl the toes under, press down through the ball mound of the foot. Keep the whole foot in contact with the mat as you come to the inner edge of the left foot. Pressing down through your right hand, and if you haven't already, just slide that right hand just a little bit forward. Left arm rotates towards the ceiling. Extended side plank. Now, with purpose, whatever is in contact with the mat, you're actively pressing down to rebound that energy up through the body. Deep breath in. On your breath out, come back through center. Right back to tabletop. One more time on each side with a little addition. Right leg back. Right hip opens up. Right arm reaches towards the ceiling. Second round of supported side plank, or you step that left foot back, come into full side plank. You can stack the feet or stagger the feet, your choice. Lift the hips up a little bit higher. Right hip towards the ceiling. Left hip hugging up and in. One more breath here. And now come to high plank. So rolling the shoulders to squaring towards the mat, hips towards the mat. Pause and breathe in. And breathing out, knees down. Keep that neutral spine. Extend the left foot back. Keep contact with the mat. Come to the inner edge of the left foot. As you roll the left shoulder, left hip open, extend the left arm skyward. You can stay right here, or option again to add on back into side plank. With that right knee lifted, feet stacked, or maybe staggered. Your choice. Breath in. Breath out. One more inhale here. And then we'll rotate back to high plank. Pause in your high plank. Lengthen out through heel bones and crown of head. Exhale, lower all the way onto the belly. Uncurl the toes. Come to the tops of the feet. Walk the elbows forward underneath the shoulders. Sphinx pose. All right, so in your Sphinx pose, press down through the pubic bone. Heart pulls forward. There's active pressure into the hands. All 10 fingertips are engaged. The neck is long and neutral. Breath in for 3. For 2. Last one. Palms underneath the shoulders. Walk them back. Press up to your hands and knees. And lift your hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. So most likely your first downward facing dog of the day. Let yourself pedal out your knees. Let the backs of the legs open. Adjust your hands and your feet into a stance that feels like it makes sense for you. You can also play with that rotation of the hands. So I like to rotate my fingertips outward, external rotation. And that allows me to feel like in my body, I'm broadening across my chest and my upper back. And I'm relaxing my neck, my spine, my head between my biceps. Take a few more rounds of breath in down dog. All right, so from our downward facing dog, lift your heel bones high, bend your knees, slightly gaze forward, step your way to the top of your mat. Take a few moments in Uttanasana, your forward fold. Let your head be the heaviest part of your body. So really lengthen out through the back of the neck. And here too, I invite you to bend the knees right and left. Let it be exploratory. Let your body open up slowly, naturally. All right, so adding on to our flow, walk the fingertips to the shins, lengthen the heart forward, press down through your feet. Hold here, breathe in, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, refold, Uttanasana. Now press down through your feet, stretch your arms forward, come all the way up to standing, reaching through the hands. Exhale your hands to your heart. Bend your knees, sink your hips. We'll come into Utkatasana, chair pose. So the attempt is to shift the weight back towards the heels. See if you can lift and wiggle those 10 toes. Stretch your arms forward. Maybe the biceps come alongside the ears if that feels comfortable on your neck. If not, you can just reach your arms straight forward. One breath in here. Breath out, fold. Lift the hips, straighten out the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees enough to plant the palms. Step into high plank. Pause in your high plank, get long. Exhale, shift forward, all the way down onto the belly. Low cobra, so walk the wrists back underneath the elbows. Shrug your shoulders away from the ears. Press down through the pubic bone. As you inhale, lift the heart, pressing the floor away. Exhale, lower. Curling toes under, option to press right up to high plank or use the support of the knees all the way up into down dog. 2 full breath cycles in your down dog. Adding on to Vinyasa, we're going to step our right foot forward between the hands right away. Right foot forward, left heel spins down to the mat. Reach the arms forward and up, rising up into Warrior One. So in this version of Warrior, shoulders are attempting to square forward, same direction as those right toes. Arms reach up and overhead. Option to interlace the hands overhead as you reach the arms long. And maybe the biceps kind of shift behind the head. Maybe you add the gaze upward. All of these are just options. If it's too much in your body, just skip it. One breath in here. On your breath out, pull your arms wide. So you're rotating your chest towards center. Walk that right foot in towards the midline of the mat. So that front heel bone is bisecting the arch of the left foot. Left foot becomes parallel with the back edge of the mat. This is Warrior Two. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, reach both arms long, straighten out your right leg. Bring that right foot to parallel with your left foot. Exhale, left toes pivot to the back of the mat. Bend the left knee, Warrior Two, facing the back of your mat, arms wide. Take the gaze over that left middle finger, breathe in here. And breathing out, listen up. You're going to circle the hands down so the right palm plants underneath the right shoulder. Your right heel lifts. That right hip rotates towards the mat. So you're in a low lunge at the back of the mat. Adding on simple twist, left arm reaches towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. And on your breath out, left hand comes back down. Take a quarter turn back to the right of your mat. Feet are parallel. Hands underneath the shoulders. Forward fold into this as much as your body allows. Be mindful of any hamstring stuff. So Prasarita Padottanasana A. Let your head be heavy. Hands can walk back between the feet. You can bend the elbows. Maybe one day, not today maybe, but maybe one day, forehead reaches the floor. You know, in the absence of the forehead reaching the floor, you could utilize one of your props, like a stack of books or a block, and let the forehead rest there. Take 2 deep breaths in your forward fold with your legs wide. Last one. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, halfway lift here. Take a quarter turn to the right, top of the mat. You're in a low lunge, right toes forward. Let's slide that left foot forward to meet the right foot and land right back into Utkatasana, bending knees, sinking hips. Stretch the arms forward any amount. Breathe in. Breathe out, stand up nice and tall, reach the arms high. Exhale the hands to heart center. Pause. Close the eyes, relax the shoulders. One full breath here. Blink the eyes open, second side. Bend the knees, sink the hips, Utkatasana. Stretch your arms forward. Find that nice place that is not aggravating to the shoulders, but activates that sensation of musculature engagement. One breath in here. Breath out, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bending your knees, planting your palms. Make your way to high plank. Pause in your high plank, lengthen out. I'm going to give you the option to shift forward and move through Chaturanga if that's in your practice. Otherwise, another round of low cobra is just great. Find a back bend that works for you. If that's upward facing dog, great. If it's low cobra, great. If it's another round of Sphinx pose, awesome. When you're ready, make your way back to down dog. Once in down dog, give yourself 2 full breath cycles here to settle and arrive. On an inhale, we're going to step that left foot forward right away. In between the hands, left foot forward. Sole of the right foot spins down and connects with the mat. Bending that left knee, reach the arms forward and up. Virabhadrasana 1. Shoulders attempt to square forward. Option to interlace the hands. Reaching the arms long. The biceps kind of squeeze the back of the head. Maybe you add the gaze up towards the ceiling. Stay connected and grounded through your right foot, long and strong through that leg. One more breath in here. On your breath out, open the arms out wide. We'll position the feet into warrior 2. So left foot's going to walk in, heel toe in to the midline of the mat. Right foot's going to become parallel with the back edge of the mat. Just take a moment to pause and settle in warrior 2. As you're ready to inhale, press that left leg straight. Reach the arms up high. Bring your left foot to parallel with your right foot. Now turn the right toes back of the mat. Warrior 2, facing the back of your mat. Bend the right knee. Gaze over that right middle finger. Breath in. On your breath out, circling that left hand down underneath the left shoulder. Lifting your left heel up. Rotate chest towards the right thigh, right arm reaching high. Breath in here. On your breath out, right hand comes down. Take that quarter turn back to your left. Just a quarter turn. Bring your feet to parallel. Hands might start out underneath the shoulders in your wide-legged forward fold, and then maybe walking the hands back between the feet. A little bit more weight starts to shift towards the front of the foot. And the head becomes heavy here. Maybe it touches the mat. Maybe you're resting it on a prop or two. As you bend the elbows, wrist underneath the elbows like you have chaturanga arms. Breath in, breath out. 2 more breaths here. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. Take that final quarter turn back to the top of your mat. You're in a low lunge. Frame out that left foot. Step the right foot forward to meet the left foot. Come right back into Utkatasana. Bend knees, sink hips. Stretch your arms forward. Breathe in, Utkatasana. Breathe out, stand up nice and tall. Exhale your hands together at the heart. Pause here, close the eyes. Blink the eyes open, sweep the arms out, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way in. We're moving through Surya Namaskar A to come down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold, plant the palms. If you'd like one more Vinyasa flow, now would be the time to take it, and know that you can modify this or skip it in any way you choose. If you're in down dog, give yourself a full breath cycle. And when you're ready for child's pose, shift forward, knees to the mat, hips to the heels, forehead touches something tangible. It might be the mat, might be a block or a book or a folded blanket. So start to just settle in there. Let your spine lengthen out. Let your belly press into your thighs. Let the breath deepen. The lungs here in this position in child's pose have this great capacity to really expand. So we'll take advantage of those big lung-filling breaths in our child's pose. 2 more breaths. Uncurling the spine, come up to a really brief seat. We'll cross our ankles and then roll the hips back over the feet to come all the way onto the back. Rolling all the way onto the shoulders, back of the head, hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. A little bit of hip work before Shavasana. So option to take figure 4, which would be the right ankle on top of the left thigh and pulling that in close. Second option, right knee crosses on top of left knee, and then you're reaching up for the outer edges of the feet, relaxing the head, shoulders heavy here. So choosing one of those 2 options, just a little bit of hip work before we settle into Shavasana. 3 breaths. Inhale, release, unwind the legs. Maybe you reach the feet up for the ceiling if that feels good. And then just take your second side. So maybe it's figure 4, left ankle on top of right thigh and hug that in close to the body. Or you can cross that left knee all the way on top of the right knee and grab your outer edges of the feet. farther away the feet are from the hips, the more sensation I feel in my outer hip. And for me, because right now I'm crossing my left knee on top of my right knee, I feel this a lot on my left hip side. 3 breaths here. Start to slowly unwind. If there's any last movement you would like to take before you settle into Shavasana, go for it. And if you'd like to take an alternative to Shavasana, like a seated meditation or adding something in your Shavasana, like props underneath the backs of the knees or something covering the eyes, know that you always have the option to do that. Start to settle in. We'll take a moment of silence and stillness to let everything integrate. Breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Feel the weight of the back body releasing. Feel your front body sinking and melting into your back body. Shavasana. If you have more time in your day to stay longer. Stay as long as you can afford. If you need to move on, begin to slowly add movement to fingertips and toes. Gently move your head side to side. When you're ready for more, sweep your arms long overhead, breathing into the length of your body, especially if you're on your back. And on an exhale from your back, bend your knees, roll off to a side fetal position for a moment. Continue press into your hands, rise back up to that seated position you took at the beginning of class, just coming full circle. Sits bones, roots, spine grows tall. Left palm flat against the heart, right palm stacks on top. Breath in here. Breath out, chin towards the chest. Acknowledging here in this moment, feeling your heartbeat, that you are alive, that you are here in this moment right now, that you are trying, and that is always enough. We are each of us always trying our best, and that looks different every day. With reverence and gratitude for our practice, to all of our teachers, past, present, future, and to the very privilege of having this practice in our lives. Namaste, yogis.